What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Friday. Yes, yes, yes. I hope that means the same to you as it does to me. I live for this shit, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So I had a very awkward, abrupt ending to my video yesterday. For all of you guys who have been with me a while, you already know I don't edit this shit. I'm just a guy on his lunch break just talking about, different instances of substance abuse and how it's affected me throughout my life, so forth and so on. I'm doing these videos with my phone, again, literally on my lunch break. My lunch break is not an infinity lunch break. It's only an hour. So if something goes wrong and I get to the end of a 30-minute video and my phone goes, oh, maximum recording time reached, stopping recording, and I'm like, wait, what? I thought I had 4 more minutes. For whatever reason, I didn't. Not sure why that is, but it abruptly just stopped on me. So I was like, oh well, my time is very valuable. So that I was not going to have that be 30 minutes straight down the toilet. So post anyway, and I'll continue to do that. Again, I'm just a real guy, no bullshit, no edits, no cool transitions and stuff like that. I mean, if you want to see stuff like that, I'm not your guy, because I'm a guy who's on here talking about real issues having to do with substance abuse, how they affect my life, and also giving you guys a voice and a platform too, reading your comments on here, talking about what you might be going through, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So my video is definitely going to be a little bit shorter today. I'm actually even in a different location. We had a 401k plan layout, I guess you could say. For whatever reason, they decided to do that at our lunchtime today, but I'm not complaining, because the 401k plan that they laid out is significantly better than the one that was in place currently, or that was in place with the company. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to get some free money to save for retirement, so I'm certainly not complaining. Plus they fed us lunch, so free lunch on the dollar of the company. So but it did take 30 minutes out of my usual hour lunch break where I go and I spend time with you guys. So I got about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So with that, I'm going to get right down to business. So I did 4 grams yesterday, guys. 8 capsules. Each capsule is 500 milligrams a piece, so it takes 2 capsules to equal a gram. So I am down to 4 grams. Count them. 4 grams of Kratom use as of yesterday. Again, my sleep was okay. I took some vitamin C. I took a melatonin. I took some kava. And of course, my last dose of Kratom for the day was somewhere around 7 o'clock in the evening, right? Slept pretty well, sometime around maybe 5 o'clock. I started kind of coming out of sleep and waking up a little bit, and I was having some discomfort, like in the chest, just if you've been through withdrawal before, you know what I'm talking about. It's wasn't really restless legs, but I get this sense of like almost hypertrophy in my chest, to where I just kind of have to move. I can't go but 3 or 4 seconds before I get this feeling that I just have to move again. And I think what that is, this is a very rudimentary way of describing it, but I think what that is just your central nervous system just firing all over the place. Pew, 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 pew. Watch out for the demo. If you want a technical medical explanation for why you get that feeling in your chest through withdrawals, go subscribe to some doctor's channel, because you come to this channel, you get pew, 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 pew. That's what you get here. So you're welcome, by the way. But I think a lot of that was just, again, I took the Kratom. I took my last dose of Kratom. I not only knocked it down by another ½ gram yesterday, but I took my last dose of Kratom around 7 o'clock that evening. Well, you got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You're looking at 9 hours later. That last dose of Kratom I took at 7 the evening before you know, it's kind of starting to phase out of my system altogether. So I think that's why the withdrawals kind of started to creep up. And as you know, if you take Kratom on a regular basis, your withdrawals are always peaking in the morning time because you're sleeping through the night. Hopefully you're sleeping through the night, and you're putting, minutes and hours in between that last dose, so your morning times, you are going, as a Kratom user, you are going to be the longest without having a dose of Kratom as you will any other time throughout the day. Which is why a lot of times mornings, Kratom users claim that mornings suck really bad, and that's when your withdrawals are really bad. But again, I am down to 4 grams. Today, I plan on only taking 7 capsules. So today, my plan is 3.5 grams. So I will officially be under 4 grams of Kratom. And I was doing the math this morning, and today's Friday. I'm going to be at 7 capsules, and my plan is to basically knock down 1 capsule per day from here. So if my calculations are correct, by next Friday, I should only be down to 1 capsule, right? I'm on 7 capsules daily right now. It's Friday. So by next Friday, I'll be down to 1 capsule, which is exactly, that must be God looking out for me, because that's exactly how I planned it. I wanted my first day or two, or my first night or two without any Kratom to be over the weekend. Well, ask and ye shall receive. That's what it's going to be, because next Friday, I'll take one capsule. That following day, on Saturday, that'll be my first day without any Kratom whatsoever. And so that first night of sleeping without having had any Kratom for that day will be on a Saturday. So, that's good. That's good. That's kind of what I wanted. That way, if I'm, still kind of having some lingering discomfort with withdrawals and stuff like that, at least I don't have to get up and go to work and be a responsible adult for the following day, right? So anyway, I'm gonna jump right back into these comments. I was on Stop Spying on Me's comment this past time, and I reached the maximum limit of storage on my phone, and it just abruptly stopped. So I'm gonna go over this again. His comment was, man, I wish I was down to 5.5 grams. I'm on 14 grams, and it's only 9:30 in the morning. Work decided to cut my hours, and I'm just sitting around the house bored. It's been raining the last few days, so no outlet for it. At this point, I'm considering just letting my supply run dry before switching to 100% stem and vein for a few weeks, and then switching to a reset pack for like a week and seeing how that goes. I'm kind of skeptical. I guess I'll just need to be my own lab rat and publish the results. Right now I'm taking 25 to 30 grams a day, maybe more. Kava coming in the mail in a few minutes. Can't wait to try it again. Got paid today, need to spend it wisely. Any advice for stuff that will help? My vacation time is available again, and I have a handful of days off. Now, so no reason I can't rapidly taper. I am trying to avoid as much of the anhedonia as possible. Is it better to stick at a low dose for a longer period of time and cut down fast originally? Thinking the stem and vein prior to quitting should make it relatively easy. Now how do I quit hash? That was a good one. Don't worry about hash, bro. And I talked about this a little bit yesterday. Weed has a very long half-life. There's really no physical withdrawals with weed. You might be irritable for a couple of days. You might have a little trouble falling asleep in the evenings, but it's on a completely different playing field than something like Kratom or some other sort of opiate-like substance. At least for now, while you're trying to get off the Kratom, in my opinion, bro, let weed be your friend. I smoke a little bit of weed, specifically on the weekends. It's not something I really have time to do during the week because I work kind of an 8 to 5, and then when I get home, I try to exercise, and then I'm spending time with my wife and my baby and stuff. That's usually when I take my Kratom dose. So I'm one of those people that I go 5-6 days in between pretty much every time I smoke weed, and I will hit it a couple of times on the weekend, like on Saturday, possibly on Sunday. But let weed be your friend through this process. It will kind of help to pass the hours, just keep you away from the kratom or any other opiate. I want to read my comment back. I said, hey bro, definitely try the stem and vein, then the reset pack as planned. I would let your regular kratom supply run dry. Use kava, especially at night for sleep. Take a magnesium supplement also at night. I recommend Calm. Take a large dose of vitamin C at night and the melatonin. All of these together seem to help alleviate any severe withdrawals during sleep time. With that said, I'm only tapering down around 1 gram per day, so somewhat aggressive for a taper, but maintaining enough kratom on board to prevent full-on withdrawals. I do have a little of the anhedonia. That's just part of it. Buy some L-tyrosine to take for your daytime. That helps a lot with the low mood and energy. Anhedonia. Take B vitamin complex with tyrosine, and it helps the body convert it to dopamine. You got this, bro. Rome was not built in a day. Take your time. Remember, when it really starts sucking, the suck is temporary. It will get better with time. By hash, I guess you're meaning weed. Hash is that's kind of an old school way of referring to it, in my opinion, but I knew what you were talking about, my man. One thing at a time, bro. I would say kratom is the bigger concern immediately due to the half-life of weed not really causing any withdrawals. I'd rather see you kick the kratom habit first, then address the herb. Okay? So yeah, anyway, I'm not gonna, I've also responded to Stop Spying on Me, via my comments on the videos, if any of you guys are interested in going and looking at that. So I'm not gonna take much more of the video time talking about this one specifically, because he kind of knows where my head is at with this whole thing. And so with that, I'm gonna move on. AVG Master 1 says, I'm on day 20, no kratom. I got a few Suboxone strips and gabapentin. I didn't have to go through any withdrawal after 5 years of daily use. I dropped the Suboxone days ago, so now I'm taking gabapentin as needed. I feel bad for people suffering with withdrawal right now. I was able to skip the whole thing. I'm drinking kava now. No withdrawal or addiction with kava. All right, so this is a perfect example. I'm one of those people that I've never really gone to a doctor for this whole thing. It's just something I've kind of used my willpower and my mindset and my exercise and work ethic and, taking some natural remedies here and there and tapering to just kind of ease myself out of it, with the least amount of severe withdrawals as possible. But here's a guy who went to the doctor, apparently. You can't get Suboxone strips and gabapentin any other way. They're both prescriptions. So if you're one of those people that the physical withdrawals are a major concern for you, which I will say, Stop Spying on Me mentioned, hey dude, I'm not worried about the physical withdrawal so much. It's more so the mental, like the anhedonia. And I agree with that. The physical stuff I can kind of deal with. The anhedonia and the low mood and the depression and just feeling like, that sense of loss, like where do I go from here? That's just a shitty feeling. I'm not gonna lie, that is a really shitty feeling. And so I'm with you on that. Stop Spying on Me. I'm the same. I'm in the same boat as you on that. But if you go to a doctor, maybe you can get something like this set up for yourself. A few strips of Suboxone, gabapentin. I take the kava in lieu of the gabapentin because kava actually is known to act on those same GABA receptors in your brain as does gabapentin. Gabapentin, GABA receptors. See how that works? Gabapentin, I imagine as a prescription is probably more strictly formulated to hit those receptors, and probably does it more effectively and more efficiently and stronger than does something like kava, I imagine, unless you're just taking like an ungodly amount of kava at a time, which I do not recommend doing because it's known to be liver toxic when taken in very high doses. So I'm gonna move on here. This is at MJG9163. I want to stop, but I work almost every day, and now I work almost every day from now until fall. I think I'm going to dedicate a couple of days to myself and go cold turkey late August, early September. I've been taking 2 hush shots for about 2 years. I've been watching your videos and I felt like I should check in. Thank you, bro. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for letting me know. And I get some of that sometimes. People will pop on and be like, hey, bro, I've been watching your videos for a while. I'm like, where you been, bro? Where you been? Stop through and say what's up, you know, like say what's up to me, you know, don't just, you know, some people do that. They just kind of would rather just watch from afar, take what they need from it, you know, and that's okay. I don't mind that, but it is good to hear from you, you know. Stop through and say hello every once in a while. So when I was taking the extracts, I was taking the MIT 45s. I was not taking the Hush extracts. In fact, I don't know that I've tried the Hush extracts. So I'm not sure really how they stack up in terms of the metrogenine alkaloid that's in them, which is, for those of you who don't know, that's the part of Kratom that actually gives you the euphoria, that gives you the high, is the metrogenine. So I don't know how strong those are as far as how they stack up against MIT 45s, but I will say, he says here, I've been taking 2 of the Hush shots. And I'm assuming that's every day for about 2 years. I will say this, if the Hush shots are anywhere close to as strong as the MIT 45s, and you've been taking a couple of them every day for a couple of years, it may take you more than a couple of days to get through this, because I know he mentioned here, I may dedicate a couple of days to myself and go cold turkey late in August. If you're anything like me, bro, and I don't mean this to scare you, but if you're anything like me, it might take you a little longer than a couple of days. You know, I was on probably about 2 MITs roughly per day. It would be give or take. There were days where I would kind of go a little heavier with it, maybe take a little bit more than 2, edging up towards 3. 3 was a max for me. I never went over 3. Very rarely went over 2. I would say on average like 1.5, 2 of the MITs for me each day. And I did that for about a year and a half straight. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm gonna be completely honest with you right now. I didn't sleep for 2 weeks after coming off of it. I was in between jobs at the time. I got laid off from a previous job where I had worked for 7 years, and they were paying me a severance package. So I was looking for another job, but I was, for 2 months after getting laid off from that job, I was still getting paid a full salary, but I didn't have to be at work every day. So I was like, sweet. This is a godsend, man. This is a perfect time, you know, to go ahead and, you know, kick this thing in the teeth and just go ahead and get off of it and do a cold turkey. And so I did. And it was not easy. It was rough. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And I did not get a full night's sleep till literally about the 2-week mark. So just want you to be prepared for that. I want you to be mentally prepared. Maybe you have some knowledge that I don't regarding the Hush extracts. I've seen the Hush extracts. I've just never tried one, so I don't really know how they stack up against something like the MIT 45s. And again, everyone's different. Different ages, different metabolisms, you know, different sexes, all these things. So different levels of activity. Some people are sedentary. People who are more active tend to kind of push past withdrawals a little quicker than people who are sedentary and kind of have slower metabolisms. There's just so many things and factors that can play into this. But hey, dude, whenever that time comes and whenever you go ahead and jump ship and you do that cold turkey, hit me up. Get back on the channel, man. All the subscribers on here are just freaking awesome. You got a bunch of people on here that collectively, there's a lot of knowledge base about opiates, how to come off of opiates, how to taper, things that you can use when you're tapering or doing a cold turkey. There's a lot of knowledge on here. So pop back on, dude, when you do it. Get some ideas, and we'll be here to support you through it, my man, 100%. Matthew Cardon, 447 says, thanks for the video and good job tapering. I commented on your video that you made 3 months ago. I've been using Kratom for about 35 grams a day for 6 years and have tried to quit so many times, but got terrible withdrawal every time I've tried to quit until last week. I've gone from 35 grams a day to 5 grams the last 2 days with very little pain and only moderate insomnia. It's never been like this before. Here's what I did to make it easier on me this time. Intense exercise is crucial. Let's go, brother. Let's go. I agree with that. You know, I said yesterday, the 70% of the people watching my videos are 25 to 44-year-old males. Get your fucking asses out there and exercise. Let's go, baby. I'm saying you have to do that, and I'm glad that Matthew said that, because he's absolutely right. It's a very important part of it, dude. I've gone 3 out of the 4 days this week. I've gone and jogged a good probably 4.5 to 5 miles out in the blazing sun. I've done that 3 days this week. I'm doing that by design for a reason. Okay, now I exercise regularly even when I'm taking the Kratom. I'm a person who always exercised. So it's not, you know, if you're a sedentary person and you're not really a fit person, obviously you're not just going to be, oh, I'm going through withdrawals, I'm just going to go out here and jog 6 miles. And it's not going to work that way for you because your cardio is not where it should be, right? So I'm not saying to everyone out there, go jog 6 miles. But even if you have sort of a sedentary lifestyle and are not a person who typically exercises, do something, whatever is a challenge for you, whatever gets your heart rate going, whatever gets your blood pumping, whatever makes you break a sweat. Do that. Push yourself, because I'm telling you, it, just like Matthew said, it does make a difference for your night times. You know, and you'll get to a point where you're like, your body's just too freaking tired to fight with you. If you wear it out enough, you know, it will help tremendously to decrease those withdrawals, and you will be able to kind of, you know, lay it down and go to sleep a lot easier, right? All right, let me continue what he says. Exercise is crucial. I suggest getting into shape before you decide to do a fast taper. I eat almost nothing but chicken, fruit, and veggies, and take magnesium, vitamin C, ashwagandha, kava tea, a daily vitamin, 3 bananas a day, and melatonin. I promise this works. Bro, Matthew, my middle name's Matthew. There must be some sort of kinship with this guy because of his name, Matthew. You sound just like me, bro. You sound just like me. When I decide to go do a taper or a cold turkey, I go straight extremist, fuck everything else. I'm doing everything by the book sort of mindset, and that's the way I do things. And hearing everything that he's laying out here, that's pretty much everything I do, except probably 1 banana. I don't do 3 bananas, but I do take a multivitamin that has potassium in it, and I don't do the ashwagandha. Everything else that he mentioned here, chicken, fruit, veggies, magnesium, vitamin C, kava, daily vitamin, a banana, melatonin, every bit of that I do. And he's not lying, man. He's not lying. It helps. It helps. So if you're on a large amount and you're looking to taper, hey, Matthew gives you a blueprint right here, you know, and that doesn't mean there's not going to be any suck. And if you're not in shape, exercise itself sucks, right? I mean, let's get real. You know, exercise is really a challenge, especially to people who are sedentary and who don't exercise, right? It's a challenge to people who are in shape and who do exercise. So, you know, it's a significantly much more of a challenge to people who aren't used to exercising. Their bodies and their minds are going to be like, what the fuck are you doing to me? Stop it, please. Stop it, please. I mean, the whole time you're exercising, especially if it's intense exercise, your mind and your body is going to be begging you to stop, especially your mind, because your body can do more than you give it credit for doing, right? But it's your mind that makes you want to be weak, and once it starts to get hard, your mind will start, stop, you need to stop, please, this is too hard, you need to stop, please, this is too hard. And then eventually it's your mind bitching and moaning and complaining that forces your body to stop. If you can control your mind and push your mind through it, you'd be shocked what the body can do, brother. The body can do quite a lot, even if you're not a person who's in really good shape, right? Cutting from 35 to 25 in a week was harder than going from 35 to 5, utilizing these supplements, exercise, and healthy food. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Stop spying on me. Right here, brother. Right here. Look at this guy's comment. Follow this blueprint. Pretty much everything that I've been doing for this taper. And, you know, Stop Spying on Me made the comment the other day on one of my videos. He was like, damn, you're going fast. You know, because I'm dropping a gram, couple of grams each day. And that's not really how they recommend to do a taper. Usually tapers are much slower, more methodical than that. And, you know, this is how I've been doing it. You know, exercising, taking all these vitamins, supplements, eating healthy, fruits, vegetables, all these things is a way for you to do it. Okay, so follow this blueprint. You know, this is somebody who's done it, dude. He says right here, cutting from 35 to 25 in a week was way harder than going from 35 to 5, utilizing these supplements, exercise, and healthy food. What you do during that withdrawal period and what you do with your taper outside of just the Kratom use itself, what you put in your body, what you do with your body makes a huge, huge difference. It blows my mind how easy it has been this time compared to every other time. I'm starting 5-HTP and L-tryptophan tonight to help with insomnia. I wish I knew this 6 years ago. Good luck to you all trying to quit. Matthew, thank you, bro. I really appreciate that comment. Really, really good information in there, man. Very informative. And any of you guys listening, you know, under the influence of my voice right now, look, this was my video yesterday for be July the 13th. Go to my July the 13th video, and that comment is here. You know, and you can see exactly what you need to do. It's a good blueprint. At Michael Morrison 9127 says, I'm currently detoxing off of Kratom, and though physically it's not horrible, mentally it's vicious. Yeah, brother. Yeah. We talked about that on here. You know, the mental part is the worst, man. Hey, hang in there, bro. You know, use some of this stuff here to help get yourself through that. And I promise it gets better, bro. It really does get better. So, before I go here, one thing I wanted to mention, I want to read this comment right here. Hell Capidan 9772. Thank you so much for your videos, man. And yes, I 100% binged them while going through the last 10 days of cold turkey from 40 grams a day. I know you laugh at your long-windedness, but it was really helpful just to have it in the background while ticking away the hours and distracting me from how fucking awful I was feeling. Never would I have made it through withdrawal. Never would have made it without the easiest subscribe of my life. Man, I really appreciate that, bro. I really, really do. Still doing good. Almost broke last night, but God stepped in when I asked him, and now I'm okay. My sleep schedule is all fucked up, so that's the next thing I am trying to get fixed, and the anhedonia is god awful, but I know it will eventually stop. Just fucking brutal while you're literally checking off the days, waiting on your brain to make a little dopamine for you again. Whew, ain't that the truth? Keep with it, man. You're a lifesaver. Thank you so much, bro. You guys have no idea, man. I'm a big sap, and that hits me right here. And I want to say, I had one of those moments this morning. I have, you know, a new baby at home, 2 dogs, and my dogs are older. You know, I got a German Shepherd and a Husky. Both of them are 8, 9 years old. And my Husky keeps pissing on the floor in the hall. She'll get out of the room at night when my wife goes out to make the baby a bottle. My husky will sneak out and she'll go piss at the end of the hall on the floor. Luckily, we have hardwood floors throughout, so it's not like a huge deal. But when I get up in the morning and I'm trying to do this and do that and get ready to get myself out to work, and I don't have Kratom, and it's just kind of a different set of circumstances for me, you can imagine, I get out of bed, the first thing I see when I walk to the end of the hall is a puddle of piss where my husky pissed on the floor. I was like, damn it. Because she gets taken out at night, right? There's no excuse for her to do this. And she's very well house trained. So we don't know if she's just getting older, she's getting a little senile, she's having trouble holding it. We're not sure. But I saw that on the way back from walking from where she pissed in the floor. I see throw up on the floor where the cat threw up in the floor. I'm like, Jesus, man. You know, and it's one of those things where within the first 45 seconds of me being out of bed, I had two things happen to me that 2 months ago, I would have just been like, I would have broke. I would have been like, you know what? Give me these Kratom pills. I'm taking 2 extras. I swear I would have. But it's one of those things where I've had that talk. I've had that talk with God that we're going to do this together. We're going to get through this. You know, you cannot depend on God to just pluck you out of it, right? God will help you, but he wants to see you dig your heels in and go after it. He's not just going to pluck you out of it because you have free will. God does not affect your free will. You have a choice, right? So he'll help you, but he's going to partner with you. And that's where I messed up in the past when I was on Percocets and Vicodins. That really fucked me up because I was praying to God. You know, I was writing gospel music on the side, and I'm doing this for you, God. You got to take this addiction away from me. Please deliver me from this addiction. And guess what? He didn't. But you know why? My heart wasn't right. My mindset was right. I was anticipating he was going to magically just do it all for me. And that I didn't have to do shit except just sit here and say, God, please, please, please. Nah, homie. It was very clear. Once all the smoke cleared, it was very clear what his message was to me is, what are you doing to help yourself, bro? You got yourself into this. Dig your heels in. Claw your way out of this shit. I'll help you. But I'm not in the business of doing it all for you, because if I did it all for you and you didn't learn the lessons and the character and the resilience of pushing through these struggles, then you're just going to crumble when it comes up to the next challenge in your life. Think about that. God will help you. He's not going to do it for you. So you got to embrace the suck. I love you guys. I got to go get back into work. Like the video. Subscribe down below if you've not. And I will see you next time. You guys have a great weekend. Peace.